Good morning, guys. I'm doing a series of behind the scenes stories of some of these faces that I've captured around the world. And today I want to talk about this woman right here, this Apatani woman who I actually called Grandma because I never got her name. So I was in northeast of India with the mission of learning more about the Apatani culture when I came across when I saw her, when I spotted her, and I knew that I wanted her to be the face of the community. I wanted her to represent the community. And while in search of her, I was lucky enough to stumble upon this home filled with the entire community of these Apatani women. And they were in some sort of a mysterious meeting of some sort in this sleepy, monotone, muddy village. And it was really fascinating. But she wasn't in there. And all these women are about 85 to 90 years of age. They're definitely in their final years. But they weren't open. None of the women in the meeting were open to be captured on camera. And I knew it was going to be really hard. But since I didn't see her there, with the help of two locals, we went tracking her that night. We went looking for her all around the village at night, and that night. And when we finally found her home, her daughter came to the door, and she told me that her mother was out drinking with her girlfriends, and that she may or may not come back home that night, and that I should try again the next day. So that was that. She was 90 years old. She was drinking with her girlfriends. And I was like, wow, I think I picked the right woman. She was just... Anyway, so I went back the next morning around 10 a.m. And there she was at the front door waiting. And she pulled me by my arm. And she was, in her language, of course, she was like, where have you been? I was afraid that you'd never come. And then she posed for me. She was laughing a lot. She was smiling a lot. And she posed for me and she showed me her home. She showed me her kitchen garden. And it was such a beautiful interaction. She probably knew I couldn't speak her language, but she wouldn't stop talking. And so this is most definitely one of my favorite interactions with the women, the indigenous women I've met along the way, just because her age didn't matter. Nothing mattered. She was just such a happy ball of energy. And anyway, so about these Apatani people, it's so fascinating. They live in the Zero Valley, which is just so away from the rest of India and the world. And their agricultural practices are so sustainable, so friendly for the earth. They do not use pesticides. They do not use animals for their agriculture. Every single home has a kitchen garden. It's a really, really beautiful culture. There's a lot to learn about them. And the fact that they have nose plugs in their noses, this is an interesting story as well. This is the last generation of women that has the nose plugs and they're bamboo. But they used to, back in the days, neighboring tribes used to come and kidnap these women because they were so beautiful. And so when the girls were born, they were, little nose plugs were inserted into their noses so that to sort of cut their beauty, to uglify them. I don't think they look ugly at all, but that was the whole purpose of the nose plugs. It doesn't happen anymore. This is the last generation of women that have that. And so, yeah, this is the story of this beautiful Apatani grandma. And I just wanted to share that with you guys.